Let's explain our thinking.
I started counting at 58, the first number, and then I counted till I got a 98, and then I counted the rest, and then my number was 40 instead of something around 50, because in the 8 makes the number larger than it should have been. So if it would have been 50, then it would have been around 60 or 70 or 50.
Okay, can you share a little bit more? Like, how did you get this 40? What did you count by?
Ones.
Okay.
So first we found out that the first number was 58.
Yeah.
And then I counted rest of them, and then I made them until I got to 98, and
Okay.
then I counted them, and then I got 40.
Okay, so you drew these circles here. So these were like your counters?
Yeah.
And how many, you drew 40 circles then? And you counted the circles afterwards by ones? Is there another way that you could solve this? How else could you have done it?
I thought I shouldn't use a number line because it's impossible to make a number line that long.
Okay, but thinking back to what Mr. So did this morning on the chart, right? You had mentioned the number line. How could you draw a number line?
You make a line and then you take the number that you actually,
So,
you make this, and let's say that we're having 8.
yeah?
And then, I'm doing this roughly.
Okay.
And then you take at least 8 up,
Yeah?
so plus 8, and then you get the number that it actually is,
Which is?
16.
Okay, now let's stop for a minute. Let's use this same idea, but let's do it with these numbers. So instead of starting at 8, what would you have started at?
150.
Okay, so let's try that. If we started at 58, let's put that down.
Okay, so now you're counting numbers. How much is from 58 to 78?
So if we start at 58,
Yeah, but how much is that? From
what
58 to 78?
could we jump
58
by?
to 68.
What might be some good options for
How
jumping?
much is that?
8, because the next number is 6.
It is. Is it easy to add by 8s in our head though?
No.
What would be an easier one to add by in our heads? Okay. So could we jump easily by 10?
How much is that from 98?
I think that would be really easy for a 1.
Okay, well, let's see. If we were to do that, if we start at 58 and we jump by 10, let's give it a
And then can I
try.
do 10 more again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we go with 58, we jump by 10, and what do we get?
60.
Okay? Okay, so we're going to add our 10.
Okay, so if you start at 30,
Okay, so then we said you got 68? Okay, so let's write that down.
2.
Okay.
Wait, how many middles is that?
So if we added another 10, what would happen?
78.
Okay.
And then 98. No, and 88. Oh yeah, so then 98. We can do that.